Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the colleagues here.
Dave.
Nate.
And today we have a viewer request from ZMax.
I would actually put this one as a GM 911 because it's actually something going on in his campaign.
So he's got players who they want to totally do their own economy thing.
They dream of an economic empire.
And take over some farmsteads that were recently ransacked by orcs. And he wants to know, does he do his adventures around what's going on with these farmsteads, or should he weave plots in and out so that they're occasionally taking breaks from their farmsteading to then go out and adventure?
My answer is yes.
Yes. I would totally say do both. Totally allow them to do it. Anytime players are inspired by something that's happened in your campaign, jump on it, let them do it. Reward them and penalize them at the same time for the things that are going on. And by penalize, I mean, okay, they're doing this, so they have to protect it, they have to do the work for it, and they're going to capitalize, and they're going to be able to get whatever meager income is going to come from having a farmstead. But at the same time, they're going to have to protect it from
ransacking orcs.
Ransacking orcs who have already come in once. So they know, okay, well, these people are bringing more farms up. Okay, let's go take the orc, take the women, take the food. Off we go.
Well, you know what I like about this is it opens up avenues that you normally wouldn't get to explore, or you actually have to insert an NPC to explore them, right? Mm-hmm. So, Farmer Smith is having problems because his pigs keep going missing. Well, instead, you can just get rid of Farmer Smith and go, the PCs are having problems because their pigs keep going missing. Or maybe someone's poisoned the well, or maybe you got a snake in your boot. I don't know. There could be cattle rustlers.
There could be some kind of issue with the land where the crops are not growing the way they're supposed to. It could be a natural thing. It could be a wilderness hazard. It could be a magical thing.
Crop circles keep propping up. Maybe there's a rivalry between other farms that are nearby.
It's like, all of a sudden, these PCs are moving in on their territory because they're more knowledgeable, or they're more able.
What if the river stops flowing? You have to go upstream and see what's going on. Then there's a giant dam built by giant, insane, intelligent, evil beavers. And then you have to break up the dam and then deal with the evil beavers.
There was this insane write-up on, I think, tribality. Tribality? However you say it. I think it was the fungal sieve. It was this kind of monstrous, skyscraper size thing that was to mine gold out of the stream, and it was fungal based, and there's a whole adventure kind of based around it. But the river stops flowing downstream because as much as it needs to for the farmers because of this thing up top the river, down the way a bit. So I thought it was just, I'll put a link in it about something about it later, but I thought it was a really neat adventure in and of itself. But that could definitely be something that the farmers.
All right, but don't tell them you're going to put a link somewhere if you're not going to put the link somewhere. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, I'll find it.
Maybe Nate may find it. If the link's not there, send him your hate comments.
Skip over Dave.
So I would say, definitely you can go about doing this. We just gave you a plethora of ideas to be able to,
and that's all just based around them doing this thing. You could also, if you wanted to go another route of more role playing and less adventure-y combat type stuff, you could definitely do they have to negotiate where to sell their goods and getting the stuff to market, and you could totally do role playing sessions just based off of that. Mm-hmm. And you can find ways to make it interesting. It sounds like your players might actually be into that. To me, it's a little bit weird. Because then it's almost like if you see the memes where the dragons are playing,
Houses,
RPG.
Demons.
Yeah, it feels a lot like that.
Let's play D&D Marketplace.
Yeah.
So, if your players are enjoying it, totally do it. I would do a mix. I would have where occasionally stuff is going on, and you could even have, while you're off doing another quest, if this wound up happening at the farmstead,
With your hired farmers that you have
yeah.
there working it.
So it seems like every time we leave to do a quest because somebody needs our help, something else happens, so I can go off and do this other quest.
Right, or or maybe maybe the farmer down the street is undercutting you because he's bringing in this cheap halfling labor, and you got to figure out how do you compete with that guy when you have to use regular laborers and he's using halfling laborers that he's sneaking in across the border. So
make potato liquor. That's how you. That's
how you fix it.
Yeah, get some alchemy kits, distill some liquor.
Like we've done videos from the DMG about poisons and madness, so you could definitely revisit those sessions of DMG and use that kind of stuff for a problem to solve, like either with the animals going mad or the help going mad, or some kind of diseases that you have to then find the cure for. So maybe you have to go out and adventure.
You could totally have Fey influence.
You could totally have Fey influence.
Either they're overproducing or underproducing because some kind of Fey party is going off in the area, and it could totally just be a role play situation, but by their presence or by whatever they're doing, it's causing the fields and whatnot to go haywire.
Or you could even do silly and have a lot of fun with it and be like, there's this archfey that just thinks it's hilarious to watch. The farm animals play dress up, and totally do like what the hell was that famous book? Animal House, is it
Animal Farm?
Animal Farm, yeah. You do an Animal Farm style adventure, and have it, have the actual cause be like an archfey or something, some other kind of phenomena. That would be interesting. You could have a clash with environmentalist types, like druids.
Yeah, clearing fields. Clearing woods to plant more fields and stuff. Yeah, so messing with the druids, messing with the rangers.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. If your players want to do it and are into it, there's tons of ways to bring adventure to them.
You could be digging a new root cellar and end up in the Underdark.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
That would be bad.
and kegs keep visiting your farm and not in a good way.
Yeah,
although I hear they're really good for the soil, but they aerate it.
Yeah.
But the problem is they're eating your cows and your pigs.
And the farmhands.
Yeah. But if you can find a way for them have them to keep aerating your fields without eating everything, it'd be awesome. Or spewing acid. So like I said, I think it's great if your players want to do this. It sets up a bunch of these non-standard adventures that you can have. A lot of times, as gamers and in D&D specifically, we get locked into this whole dungeon mentality, and it's always it has to be a dungeon has to be a specific way.
Yeah, or I rolled initiative, so when am I attacking, kind of thing, rather than it being for some other purpose.
Yeah, so one of the things that's always been easy about D&D is generally your adventures are put together very linear. But when you get away from that and move into more of a sandbox type of scenario, this is what you're going to get. This is perfect for that. It's a great environment. You can have all these things going on at the same time, and they kind of have to pick and choose what they're going to do.
Yeah.
I feel anytime you have players express a specific interest, unless you create this massive campaign arc that if they if they decide that they're not going to focus on it, your world is going to be utterly destroyed. That
no way, the other guys will handle it.
You really have to let the characters take their buy-in and tailor your campaign to what it is that they want to do, because there's nothing better than having your players fully engrossed in what you're doing. And when they are essentially giving you, well, here's the laundry list of what we want to do, let them go to the market.
I think even going off your big overarching story is a great idea, and going, so what this storyline I had planned is actually still progressing, but every time the players don't get involved, somebody else fixes the problem. Or it escalates, and some of it can touch upon what they're doing. But you could definitely run it in the background as kind of flavor and story.
Yeah, they want to do an economy, like an economic empire. So eventually, 10th level, when they're dealing with thousands of gold pieces, transactions, they're going to bump heads with people that are manipulating the economics in the area.
Maybe not.
And-
Maybe they always stay poor because they're farmers.
Well, I mean,
I think they're going to expand. They're either going to control the wheat in that sector of the world, or they're going to expand into different avenues.
I would imagine, if they're looking to create an economic empire, they could totally say, well, all right, I'm going to start off as a farm. I'm going to raise that up until we get, X amount of money. Reinvest. Now we'll get more land.
And
we'll
now
get
we
more
are
stuff,
Walmart.
And if they build, okay, well, now we're going to buy, a literal, stronghold, and move to a whole other area. You can wind up seeing this growth and this change. And, now you go from, well, we're dealing with the, just the commonplace, market of selling goods to, now you're dealing with the socioeconomic situation of, lordship and leadership and how that's gonna affect it. And then you go to, well, are they going to attempt to try and get, continental control? And
My
global?
mind just went in a completely different direction. I just envision, right? Like, as you say that, like, as they start with, like, fewer and fewer farms and they just keep expanding and building out. I just think about Walmart growing bigger and bigger and pushing more and more of the mom and pop shops out. So, like, then it made me think back to your overarching, world-destroying storyline, and I'm like, it's the PCs. They're going to economically crush everyone. They're going to push out all the mom and pop shops and replace them with their mega farms.
Well, then the mega farms are always going to grow what's the best crop, but then one year that entire crop has a blight, so like a quarter of the population is going to starve to death if they don't figure out something.
So great idea, Ted. The PCs as the villains through farming.
Through farming.
So ZMAX, there you go.
Yeah, what I was getting at was you would eventually do things where you're dealing with noble houses and merchant circles and guilds that are going to be antagonistic towards you because you're actually going to be taking their market share, and you might even have assassination attempts or other people
agricultural espionage,
defamation against you as this like up and coming merchant house. So I see that like it would change from protecting the farm to protecting your mercantile livelihood on a grander scale, as well as your actual life from other people.
I'm feeling some medieval Shadowrun going on here.
You could have the Merchants Guild, which you have to like get into, and they could be maybe somewhat
just the vote to get into could be
they could be
substantial.
maybe somewhat shady and underhanded, and they're making you do some kind of quest that is going to profit them above you. Before you can be allowed to sell your goods at this place or that place. So
they could just not be terrible, black-hatted, money-grubbing people and be more of like, there's a group of people that are the merchant circle in the area or the merchant guild in the area, and you simply have to win them over one at a time. Maybe one of the guys actually likes you, or you remind him of his son or whatever.
No, they're all Rasaskas and doppelgangers.
Just different
Republican Raksashas.
different points of view. So ZMAX.
I understand you just hating on the corporations.
No, I'm offering up different ideas. So ZMAX.
He's not hating them. He's just saying they're all evil.
ZMAX, there you go. We got hopefully we answered your question, guys out there. If you have any other suggestions for ZMAX of how to handle this situation or touch on things that we didn't, go ahead and put them in the comments below. While you're doing that, feel free to click like, share, even subscribe.
You want to see some of those funny memes we were talking about? Come over to Facebook and check us out.
Those are doing the conversation over on Reddit.
So until next time, stay nerdy.